Gentlemen, who wants to start?
All
I'll
right.
start. How about I start? Sound good?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, what we are going to start with here just so happens to be an article from the Indy Star, and it's about how I'll read the headline and then I'll give you a brief description of the story. The headline is 2 men arrested after bizarre shooting left 1 man dead in Indianapolis.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Let's get into it.
All right, so 2 men were arrested the day after a bizarre shooting in a southeast side subdivision. It started with an attempted burglary and ended with 1 suspect dead and 2 on the loose. So what happened was at approximately 6:30 p.m. Thursday, 3 men were attempting to break into a vacant home that was for sale in the Indianapolis area. And funny enough, there was a guy inside with a gun waiting on them. So,
Whoa, that's a pleasant
Wrong
surprise.
house.
wrong house,
Yeah.
exactly. It turns out that this home had experienced problems with people breaking in. And so the homeowner decided that he would have a guy come in and wait for the burglars to return.
It's like a security officer type thing.
Or just a friend
Just
with
a
a
friend,
gun.
yeah.
I mean, it didn't say security officer, so I'm leaning more
Just
towards...
one of the friends has been waiting for the opportunity for this to arise.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Exactly. So when the 3 people tried to enter the home again, the guy was waiting for him and shot one of them as they were trying to enter. And then the other 2 just bailed out, one on foot. The other one jumped in like a Chevy Astro van or some sort of Chevy van. And
18.
yeah, something.
18.
Maybe the minivan version, but they fired off gunshots at it and ended up getting bullet holes in the van also.
What?
And so here's a quote. The homeowner had arranged for someone to be in the house to catch them, and when they tried to come in, it got ugly. Shots were fired. That was a direct
the quote.
Yeah.
Point blank.
Yep.
Point blank. He just tells you, shots fired. Shots fired.
Man down.
Man down. Man down. Man, that is...
Was it a fatal wound?
Ah, good question.
Adam over
I-
here with
I'm
all the
guessing-
questions.
Guessing probably.
I
Point
think
blank.
so, because I think the headline, let me go back to the headline. 2 men arrested after bizarre shooting left 1 man dead.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Wow.
So
That part.
3 suspects, 1 killed, the other 2 fled, 1 on foot, 1 in a van with bullet holes in it now. And, yeah, Chevy van that was struck by bullets as he drove away. On Saturday, police identified those 2 suspects, and I'll leave the names out of it, but one was 47 years old, the other was 40, and they were both males. And they were arrested Friday, which would have been 10th, 11th, something like that, of January. And they were arrested, and they faced preliminary charges of felony murder and burglary.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
That's,
Well, luckily in Indiana, he has every right to do so.
yes.
Castle
So,
law, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
I agree, you know, if you are willing to take the risk of going in someone's house, you need to realize you could get shot.
That is
Absolutely.
a risk. If you're going to do that, there's a chance.
There's
a chance.
a good idea would just be not to do that,
Yeah.
but,
Obviously.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
people are not the smartest at times.
For sure.
But man, wouldn't that suck? Here you are, you know, going about your normal business day, just trying to break into a house or two, and lo and behold,
Is
you're
that your business?
you're
That's
the
your
one-
business day?
That's some people.
That's how a normal business day works?
for some people, yes.
Don't commit crime. Don't break into people's house.
Yeah. I think he got what he deserved, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because for that one guy that got caught, there's 100 others that didn't.
Right.
It's just a sad situation altogether. Moral of the story is just don't commit crime. And if you're going to, don't break into somebody's house, particularly in a state or a region where you know they're probably going to be
Yeah, like
armed.
Texas, you might want to stay away from doing home invasions in Texas.
Period. Yeah.
Actually, at night, you can't even be on their land. You can be shot on your land.
Really?
Yeah, you don't even have to be breaking and entering, just on the land.
In Texas?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
I think that kind of has to do with livestock and cattle. You don't want people coming in and messing with them.
Rustlers.
Rustlers.
Darn rustlers.
Those teenagers out there cow tipping.
Pop, pop.
I don't think that's
Terrible.
That's not why the law exists.
That's terrible.
Some crotchety old man just wants to shoot some teenagers that have been tipping his cows.
Cow tipping. Oh man, that'd be terrible.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Adam, what's new with you? What's the news with you?
Okay, so I was looking at Star Press. The headline: A man who called police to his apartment held on dealing charges. That's referring to drug dealing charges.
Huh.
So it says a Muncie man might have second thoughts about asking police to investigate suspicious sounds outside his apartment. So apparently he had called the police, they got there, and as he opened the door, they observed marijuana in plain view at his apartment. So obviously if you are doing something illegal and you call the police, clean it up.
Or meet them outside.
Yeah.
Don't answer,
That's always a good idea. Just go outside.
Just go
Don't
outside.
even let them see in. And so they saw that he actually gave them permission to search their apartment, which he doesn't have to do. But I mean, they would have got an order,
Court
to get
order,
in.
yeah.
But you don't want to do that. So it gets worse. So they went in and they found half a pound of marijuana, 500 Xanax bars, a set of digital scales, several tablets of prescription medication, and 3 guns, and $4,500 in cash.
The list just keeps going on.
Yeah.
I know,
on.
And I think
That's a
that
lot.
when you mix firearms with illegal drugs, you get federal charges. I'm not positive whether they were legal firearms or not.
Well, I mean, just the drugs alone is federal charge.
Yeah.
And they said, upon talking to him and everything, he had actually admitted to dealing marijuana and Xanax for the past several months.
Wait, he admitted
He admitted to selling.
to the police officers.
Yes.
Whoa. Whoa. Well,
He must have forgot his right to remain silent.
Right. And it says just the Xanax dealing count alone is a level 3 felony, carrying up to 16 years in
Yeah.
prison. Just for that alone. Not everything else. And he's under bond of $27,500.
wow.
Man, 27. Okay, bond. So that means that his bail is set to 270,000 roughly.
Right.
Roughly, yeah. If it's at 10% or so, right?
Yeah, I
it
think
is.
that's
what they go by.
approximately what they go by.
Yes, that's
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
that's a huge mistake. I would say if you see people outside your apartment and you have guns, why don't you just handle that yourself in
Yeah.
that situation?
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it's interesting that somebody in that situation would call the cops, I guess. That is not
Right.
something I would consider that they would do.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
If you're in that situation, you want to keep them as far as possible away.
but
Bad news.
wow.
Yeah. And if you do that, go outside.
At least, or hide the drugs. Don't leave them out on your kitchen table when you're answering the door
Exactly.
for your local constable.
Wow.
Whoa.
Whoa. There's some crazy stuff that happens.
There really is, yeah.
That they put in the Star Press. There's some crazy stuff. I've got one.
Let's hear it.
I've got one from ABC News. This is national news. And if you haven't been following national news, R. Kelly's been in the news quite a bit recently.
Oh, again?
Again, R. Kelly's in the news quite a bit, it appears. But the title of this is Illinois refuses permit for concert to be hosted by R. Kelly. And I'll just... I know, yeah, I mean, it's R. Kelly. It's not a surprise, but still, it's just, you gotta hear this, alright? I'll just read the article. Here's what it says. Illinois officials say a concert in Springfield that was to be hosted by R. Kelly, which, by the way, I think, isn't it been like the Oscars, I think it's the Oscars or Grammys, they're having trouble finding a host.
Yeah, they were gonna use Kevin Hart or something, and he just washed his hands of it.
Well, apparently they denied a permit here to R. Kelly. They could just ask R. Kelly.
I think Kells should be doing it. Yeah,
I mean,
he'd make a great host.
Okay, to be hosted by R. Kelly, it cannot take place in the wake of new sexual misconduct allegations against the R&B star.
Oh, so these are new. They're not the same.
He didn't stop, apparently.
Against
He
new
didn't get the memo.
No.
Hey, maybe you shouldn't do that.
Oh, wow. Which, do you classify R. Kelly as R&B?
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess.
Definitely.
Maybe? Okay. All right, fair enough.
I do know he's got the key to the ignition, though. And it's hot and fresh out the kitchen.
Well, one thing's for sure, if he's trying to host something in Springfield, he's no longer trapped in the closet. Oh, brother. Anyways, Illinois Department of Agriculture spokeswoman Denise Albert told the Chicago Tribune that the application for the spring break jam in April was denied Thursday because of security concerns following protests outside Kelly's Chicago studio this week. I didn't know he was from Chicago, or lives there now, I guess, but...
I didn't know it was from the Department of Agriculture that showed
Yeah.
me. like what's this to say?
What does
The
that
farmers are really angry with R. Kelly.
You know what? I know it. We're the Department of Agriculture. We've got to raise funds. Who are we going to get to host a program for the Department of Agriculture? I've got it. R. Kelly.
Yeah.
I mean...
It's brilliant.
I don't know. Kelly has been under fire since the recent airing of a Lifetime documentary, Surviving R. Kelly. He has denied all allegations of sexual misconduct involving women and underage girls. A tip that Kelly was holding two women against their will prompted Chicago police to visit his residence Friday in Chicago's Trump Tower.
Wait. Can you just go through that last sentence one more time?
Hold on.
Because we're pulling two controversial figures in here, and I just want to know for sure that that's what that said.
Sexual misconduct is nothing to joke about. That's bad. But R. Kelly is just... This is crazy. The amount of times this guy's been in the news, and he's just crazy. A tip... The sentence went like this. A tip that Kelly was holding two women against their will prompted Chicago police to visit his residence Friday in Chicago's Trump Tower.
So that's where he's living.
Which
was inside Chicago's Trump
Yes,
Tower. Okay.
that would lead you to believe it was in Chicago's Trump Tower. Which there's protests going on outside there all the time. It appears. I don't know.
Still?
Officers interviewed Kelly and the women, but found no evidence of wrongdoing. Which there's actually, I think I've heard some allegations too that for some reason he is able to brainwash these women. I have heard that happens. I don't know.
Well, he is a celebrity, so I'm sure they kind of get caught up into that.
And the money.
Very susceptible to suggestion.
Especially he's into the young ones. They're more impressionable, so...
I would argue that being a celebrity, though, doesn't necessarily enable you to have the power of brainwashing. Celebrity... I don't know what you'd call it. Celebrity craze. I mean, there are some celebrities I wouldn't want to be near. R. Kelly being one of them. But apparently that's not the case for everybody. I don't know.
I think you'd be safe. You're not young enough.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Well, yeah. So, moral of the story. If you commit a crime, don't break into people's house. If you're committing illegal acts, don't call the police.
And don't sleep with young women or young people in general. It's just not good practice. It's kind of gross. Allegedly.
Don't go near R. Kelly.
If you're a young girl.
If you're anybody. which he's living in Chicago's Trump Tower. So, according to this article from ABC News, if you want to know where R. Kelly's at, he's apparently at Trump's Tower in Chicago. But
So if you're into that sort of thing,
I guess
go look him up. That way he doesn't have to worry about it being consensual anymore.
what is it? Like 10 out of 10 dentists would not recommend. Oh yeah.
Oh goodness.
All right.
I will say though, I absolutely loved Trapped in the Closet. I'm a closet Trapped in the Closet
That
fan.
guilty pleasure of yours.
It's just so funny.
I'm not gonna lie, Trapped in the Closet was really entertaining.
It is.
And didn't he do I Believe I Can Fly?
Oh yeah. That was
That
back
was
in
a
the
classic back in
90s.
the day, yeah.
That is a classic right there.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
not bad.
Yeah.
He's got some good songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ignition
Trap-
Remix is my famous.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
That's so good. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. So, a lot of lessons learned today. I guess.
Yeah. I thought he would be a West Coaster.
Yeah, I actually would have thought he was West Coast too.
Or East, East or West Coaster, just not Midwest.
He's got that Midwest R&B style, I guess, where he makes videos like Trapped in the Closet.
It's genius. I think what NASA should have done, instead of recording the sounds of Earth and sending those off into space on a golden record, we should have gotten R. Kelly's gold record and sent that off
Send
into
it into
space.
space. Oh man, you
I
know what?
think-
That would have scared off every alien life form.
Might not exactly. That
Yeah.
might not be a bad thing,
Well, you never know. Maybe,
or it could attract a really bad kind of alien.
Possibly.
You never know.
maybe R. Kelly is an alien, and it would only further communicate to his kind. You know, like we'd have like 20 different R. Kellys here on Earth now, and yeah, no. Maybe, but at the same time, if it did push away aliens, it's possible we might have prevented, the third Independence Day,
Yeah.
right? The movie.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a second one? There was a remake, wasn't there?
I
think
think
so.
so.
I
I don't
know.
think you're gonna beat the first one though.
Yeah.
No. The original was best.
With Will Smith as your protagonist.
Oh, Randy Quaid.
Yeah,
What was the guy's name who played president? I want to say Bill Poland, but
he was
I
pretty
don't
good.
know.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Not that it really matters.
Hmm.
But at this point, we digress.
We digress.
Well, gentlemen, I think we've covered a good article each. Of course, I think yours personally trumped the rest of us as far as human interest stories go.
So
But yeah, it's funny stuff. We've got 1 dead, 2 on the run. We've got a man getting jailed for his own
Multiple felonies.
multiple felonies. And
Due to his own fault.
yeah, exactly. Oh, that
And
man
then
needs an
we've got-
attorney.
then we've got R. Kelly, which is just the icing and sprinkles on top.
Oh, that is the icing on the cake right
So,
there.
Thank you, ABC News, for telling us all about R. Kelly.
We need that in our life.
Avoid the yellow cake.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, the yellow icing's no good. It's like the yellow snow. Just
Yeah.
don't eat it.
Okay,
All right.
I think that's a wrap.
Yep.
If you liked what you heard and you want to hear more, click like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and why not drop us a comment too? If there's one article you like better than the rest, let us know. Appreciate it.
Yeah, what would you like to hear? We always could use some direction.
Yeah. Give us some advice,
Yeah.
and that's that. Have a good one.
Signing off. This has been the real Pawnee.